we can do. That's a set, Robert.
Knock it off!
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Are you kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Knock it off!
The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown them.
Knock it off!
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
You play to win the game.
Knock it off!
Hello? You play to win the game.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Leopard King, Mike L. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by Legit Podcast.com. It is December 3rd, 2023. We're in the Santa home stretch. I am dressed like a slob. I offer no apologies because I believe you cannot base a man on what he's wearing on a Sunday. Joining me as always, Brother Ray. Ray, how are you?
Pretty good, King. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm confused by a lot of these games, if I'm being honest, like ahead of schedule. Like I'm looking at stuff. There's some games where it feels like it's the same team playing themselves. And we're gonna see that phenomena as we go on. Let's bring the comedy up. Shawn, the comedian, Captain Picard. How are you, Shawn?
I don't know, but you're lucky our team asked.
Yeah, that's the. You know what's great is, see, I loved Jabril Peppers when he was on the Giants. Like he loved being there. Like that was the team. He bounced one from the Browns. We created for him with the Odell thing. He wanted to be a Giant, and that's just an honest thing. Like
Yeah.
He's a pro. Like he's played at a high level. So he was telling another high level player, you know, you're lucky we asked. Like, you don't think basketball players would say that to one another?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So all of a sudden he's like a traitor. Like he's a Josh. What's his name? The coach.
Yeah,
Like
he's
that level.
he's what every fan is saying right now, and the fact that he voiced it, I'm not going to be embarrassed by it. I'm going to say, yeah, we're ass. Get the toilet paper frozen.
Yeah, it's look like the Giants. We stink. I can't run from that. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you why we stink, and it still blows my mind, guys. Just really quick. The day, like a couple of days before, it might have been a couple of days or the day of our first game, and my son was naming off all the new additions the Giants, not like new addition like Bobby Brown, that kind of stuff, but all the new additions the Giants had made, right? And he's naming off the names, who we've got: Ojolari, Thibs, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams at the time, all these names, right? And I went, yeah, but Mike, what about the offensive line? I'm like, we drafted our center. We didn't get guards, and we hope that Evan Neal gets better. That's exactly what I said to him. Like, you can't start the season that flimsy of a plan like that, right? How do you miss that? So here's my thought, and Ray, tell me if you think I'm right. What's his face? Shane is playing a 3-year, 4-year game because he's knocking down cap space by like 70-something thousand, then 100-something thousand. I think he was there to douche out the Giants organization. You believe that, like, Ray? Because I don't feel they didn't address the line. They just trusted two guys at guard. That didn't work last year, and they were like, "Oh, I'll have Neal get better."
Yeah, the Giants are like, in a way, they're kind of like Baltimore and Pittsburgh, where they kind of always did things the same way. They would bring in new people, but it was kind of always the same MO. Now they need to burn the whole thing to the ground. I mean, everything. And the problem is they really didn't. They need to burn it to the ground and then build up from scratch. That's the only way. And sometimes to do that, you've seen what's happening right now. They're taking their lumps. They're going to purge the salary cap and then come back and build anew. That's the only way. But they're going to make some changes. I mean, they played well last week, but they need changes.
You want to hear my theory, though? And I'm like the only Giants fan that will say this because all the other Giants fans hate my opinion when it comes to this. I would stay with Daniel Jones. I would let him play the next 2 years because I'll tell you right now, he still hasn't played behind an offensive line, a professional offensive line. So you can say whatever you want. If he comes back healthy, he still has the tools to orchestrate the offense that he wants to run, right? The defense has gotten better. Wink's actually improved. We've been holding teams, right? Making turnovers. But it's like, I hate the fact that they're like, ooh, what's his face is in the draft? We can get this kid a quarterback. Oh, he might fall to the second round. We get the quarterback there, LSU or what's his name, Penix. Like, oh, he might fall later. And I keep saying, oh, the quarterbacks are going to go way too soon. And secondly, if we draft another quarterback without addressing the offensive line, like in other words, hear me out on this. You got to go get a professional free agent. All your money goes into like a really good tackle, right? Then you draft for guard. Just stop drafting for left tackle. The Giants done Justin Pugh. They did what's his name? Eric what's his name? The other bust at left tackle that went on to the Redskins to be a guard. Come on, help me out.
Oh, yeah. Another projection.
Eric Flowers. It went Justin Pugh. They drafted him like with the 13th pick as a left tackle. He could never play left tackle ever in the NFL. He became a guard immediately, right? Eric Flowers, who completely blew out, right? Andrew Thomas comes in, stumbles, then gets better, but gets hurt. And Evan Neal is another one, and he stinks. So I keep saying draft an offensive lineman, but is that really what they want to do? Because it hasn't worked in like 4 or 5 years. So do we just need to go, hey, just go offer money to the best linemen in the league and try to get those guys, please?
Yeah, I mean, they need coaching too, because the Dolphins for years, their offensive line has been just as bad. You bring in a new head coach, a new offensive line coach, and he's working wonders with the same junk that other coaches were working with before. So it has to do with scheme, has to do with coaching too.
And Shawn, with the Patriots, I see more of an imploding. What do you think about Bill being there next year?
I wouldn't mind Bill the coach. Bill the GM has to go. They have the same problem as the Giants as far as offensive line. They need wide receiver help, which for some reason they leave up to Bill.
Years. Yeah, they needed it for years.
And it's going nowhere. Doesn't matter who you put in as offensive coordinator. If you have this kind of talent, you'll have a receiving back, and that's all your offense. That's all you can count on.
Can we call it the curse of Randy Moss?
Sure.
Because has it been a decent receiver since Moss?
No.
Really good. Really good. Edelman and all those guys, but really good. Like Moss, since Moss.
Well, we could have had Jacoby Myers for less than Juju Smith, and we could have had Hopkins had we just bumped up the offer by $3 million while he was there, but we didn't want to do that. So it's our fault.
So that's my point. I think some teams play long term, right? Because they're businesses, and as fans, we choose to ignore that, right? So I think that actually helps when it comes to gambling. So let's get into the games because, sometimes you see teams going for different causes at this point in the season. They've shown that their hand, so to speak. Ray, we're starting off with the Chargers going to, wait, is that New England?
Yes.
Okay. Chargers are coming here. They'll be close to where we live. Yeah. The Chargers are favored by 5.5. The over-under is 39. That's the most current I had. Ray, tell me who you like and why.
This game, again, the Pats, we've talked about them ad nauseum, but the Chargers are also not a very good football team with not a very good head football coach. So I look at this game, and I really love the under. Let me just say that. This is one of the locks of the day, in my opinion. The under here is an absolute lock. The weather's going to be crap. You got Bailey Zappi trotting out there. I think with Zappi out there, I think it's going to be the Zappi effect. I do like the Patriots today, getting 5 at home because the Chargers have been bad. Other than Keenan Allen, they have absolutely nothing in the passing game. All right, and Herbert's been getting his butt kicked. So I like the Patriots today. I don't love Like the Patriots today. Love the under. It's just the Chargers are playing. That's another coach that needs to be fired.
All right, Shawn, you want to go next?
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but we asked. And yeah, it's not going to be a good game. So, I mean, 5 points, I wouldn't normally
Five and a
take.
half right
but-
now. Right now it's 5.5.
Oh, it's 5.5. All right, even 5.5. I mean, the Patriots, every play is going to be a slant or a screen. And by the third play, everyone's going to figure it out. And they're not going to be able to move 5 inches. And because of that, the Chargers are going to intercept Zap E 2 times today, and they're going to win by 10.
So you guys split. Ray, I see it more Shawn's way, and especially why I traded for Herbert in our fantasy league, the corrupted league. I don't know what you thought of that trade, but I was sick of not having a quarterback long term, like a good one. Like it really got to me, Ray. I was thinking, like, I just need one quarterback that maybe he's having a rough year, but he's a guy that you keep. You know what I mean? Here's the thing: he's right on that, and eventually Herbert is only going to need Keenan Allen. Like right now where it stands, Keenan Allen will be enough to get like maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns, get like a 14-point difference. I could actually see 17-3 in New England. I'm being serious. Like if it happens that way, wouldn't be shocked. 17-3 is what I'm calling. So yeah, I got to take the Chargers, but I love the under too, Ray. Like you're right, that's probably the best because one of these teams is just gonna get. Yeah, it's gonna go that way. All right, let me put it down. All right, Shawn, I'll start with you. The Lions are going to the Saints. Lions are favored by 4 going into New Orleans. Over under is 43.5 currently. Who do you like? Why?
I like our over because I think it's going to be a score fest today. Yeah, New Orleans said they have Olave back today, which should make it more interesting, and I think that's why the line dropped from 4.5 to 4. But I don't know. Like these Lions, I like them. They've been lukewarm lately, even though they're one of the top teams in the NFC. But I think they got the Kavarka, and are going to go all the way today.
Going all the way?
Going all the way today with the Kavarka.
Right. So what did you think the score is going to be if you had to predict it?
Final score, I see it as 27-20.
Obviously the Lions.
Yes.
Kid. Ray, Shawn's taking the Lions. Who do you like?
I'm going another home dog. I'm going to go with the Saints today, getting 4.5. I think Olave playing makes it a different result. I like Kamara in this game a lot too. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. Detroit, they completely laid an egg against a Packer team that they should have crushed at home. I mean, they got it handed to them on Thanksgiving at home. That scared the crap out of me. Goff has not looked good the last 2 weeks, turning the ball over. The Saints defense has regressed, but I'm going to take the 4.5. And I agree with Shawn. I think the over is definitely the play.
You actually just made some points that make me want to take the Lions. Like they did get embarrassed on Thanksgiving Day. If there's any true athletes left, they're really pissed. Like if there's anybody that's in that locker room that's a real athlete, takes the sport serious, they're angry about being embarrassed like that as a pro. They have to. If they're not still, then, it's not sports. But I think the Saints stink. And then I think the Lions are always kind of a fraud. But I think the Lions beat the Saints. Like the fraud beats the stunk, we'll call it, in this game. I'm going to go with the Lions -4. Next one would be Atlanta going to the MetLife Stadium, not the Jet Life Stadium as our little green nephews want to call it. But the Falcons are favored by 2 against said Jets. The over-under is 33. Now, gosh darn, I want to take the under even on 33 in this game. But then I worry about 2 stupid defensive touchdowns or one of the guys gets free for 1 touchdown. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's the tight end for the Falcons? What's his face?
Pitts?
Yeah, Pitts could go off today, catch 2. Like something dumb is going to happen in this game. That's why I'm worried about the under. But I'm still going to go, I think, with the Jets. I think the Jets beat the Falcons. I think this is just a beat up fight fest, and I think the Jets defense is going to beat them up. I've taken the Jets +2, right?
I love Atlanta in this game. They're one of my locks of the week. I think they're starting to play well. They're going to run the ball, and the Jets lately have been awful against the run. Their defense, one of the best defenses in the league. Not against the run. Miami ran the ball down their throat. What do you think Bijan Robinson's going to do this week? I love Atlanta.
So
I love Atlanta on the road, -2.
Yeah, but
and
right.
their defense has been playing lights out lately. Atlanta's defense.
Let me ask you one thing though. Don't you think though the running back from the Dolphins, they offer a different problem than what the Falcons running backs will offer? I'm just saying, you guys run so freaking fast. Everybody is so fast and straight. It's like bang. The Dolphins running backs are a nightmare. Like they literally are. Because even your third running back is still pretty good. He would probably start for most teams. What I'm saying is that I don't think the Falcons, as big the names you want to pick, like even putting Cordell Patterson in the mix, they're not those guys from Miami.
Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, those two, they're
They should be. All right,
yeah,
but they're not though. They're still not Miami.
They're not. I would take Bijan in a heartbeat over Raheem Mostert. I'm being honest.
Not for your system. Not for your system. You wouldn't want him.
Yeah, I would. I would take Bijan in any system. I mean, he's going to be one of the best to ever play.
I know, but you're watching the Dolphins, right? Because you guys just throw the ball and run straight by everybody. Or you get the ball handed off and you run straight up a hole and you run by everybody. Like,
it's
I don't know
the zone stretch. Mostert's really good in the zone stretch.
Yes.
But if you look at what Atlanta wants to do with Arthur Smith, he wants to run the ball down your throat. That's what has been hurting the Jets lately. So in this game, and the Jets offense right now is a liability. The Falcons defense all day today, DFS. Yes. You can get it at a rebate. I mean, against Boyle, like all day. Like, I don't understand how the Jets could only be 2-point underdogs in this game.
What I'm saying is I think it's easier to stack a line, Shawn, right, and stop running backs that are going to make like a one cut or that use power than it is when you stack it and somebody runs right by you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see it differently. That's why I see the Jets winning in a fist fight. But what do you think?
I see it like Brother Ray.
Okay.
Robinson is underrated when it comes to his passing ability. His pass catching ability. And I mean, I was thinking about Home Depot, Arthur Blanco's.
Home Depot.
And did you know they hire felons? And out of all the felons that they hire, some go on to play for the New York Jets. So that could make a difference. But I go with Brother Ray. Atlanta is going to take this one just because they're going to control the time of the clock the whole time. Just running it with Algier and Robinson, and that's going to be the game pretty much. Low-scoring affair, but Atlanta wins, I think, by 5.
Okay. Keep in mind, though, the Jets, like the Giants, are snake-bitten in this sense. It would help the Jets organization if they lost today. The more they drop down the draft thing, they need to be fixed, right? You need to be fixed. But they're going to win today because that's what these teams do. They always do a game like this down the stretch where they just win it and they ruin any chances of a decent draft pick. And the Jets follow the Giants' footsteps. Cardinals, Ray, go to the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 6.5 currently at home. The over-under is 40, I think, 1, is it?
It's 41, yeah, 41.
What do you like?
I'll tell you what, I think Arizona's starting to come on now. I think Kyler's playing well. I think he's starting to, fantasy-wise, he's really starting to put it together. Their defense has been good all year and kept them in games. It's a high spread here, so I want to go with Arizona getting the points. I think Pittsburgh's going to win this game, though. I think they've turned it around. And I love Jaylen Warren today. The Cardinals are one of the worst teams in the league against the run. I'm going to go with the under. And I'm going to go with Arizona, but I think Pittsburgh could cover. I think they're going to win the game. But if you're going to hold my feet to the fire, I'll go with Arizona getting 6.5.
Shawn?
Ray again stole my answer. So damn you, Ray. Damn you to hell. And yeah, I think Pittsburgh wins, but they don't win by that much because Arizona, they have a lot of people don't realize it, but yeah, they've been a tough out, even though they're a trash team. but Pittsburgh ultimately wins the game. I agree with Warren having a good game today. Watch out for Johnson receiving. And that's about it for me, with Arizona getting the points, but Pittsburgh winning.
All right. So here's how I see this game. I'm putting this with the Jets on my underdog special so far today, right? I really am. Like that's what I'm going with. I think the Cardinals beat the Steelers. I think right now they're actually a better team than the Steelers. Like they're going to score more points. They're going to be more exciting. Just watch. This is what's going to happen. And then, so that officially makes that a lock. We're
good
all
money
in
line bet.
Cardinals plus
That's
6.5.
a real good money line bet.
Yeah,
it is. It really is, because it's one of those games where the Cardinals just might beat them. Never mind, stay within 6.5. You know what I mean? That's a lock for me. We're with that. All right. Shawn, will let you go. So here's one of those games where I literally feel like it's the same team playing the same team. The Colts go to the Titans.
yeah.
Right. Literally, I look at both teams and they just go bleh. And they just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Really, I feel that feeling when I get it. So the Colts are favored by 1, and the over-under on this shootout is 48.
The thing and it was a 1-point difference, right, on this one. Is that what you guys got? Yeah,
One.
yeah.
Indy.
So I think, and I love Minshew in this game, but I think Tennessee wins just because Vrabel this time of year always seems to have a good record, and he pulls his wins out of his ass. So, yeah, I'm going to say Tennessee, even though I think Indy can keep this game close, can keep it, but Tennessee, just between Hopkins and the rebound game for Derrick Henry. Yeah, good times, great oldies. Going with Tennessee.
Be 1-1. So Ray, let's play the game. Who are the starting quarterbacks for these teams?
Gardner Minshew and Will Levis.
Okay. How do you feel about both as far as fantasy value?
I love Minshew today. Minshew always plays well against the Titans. I love Minshew today. I think Levis will start to play better now that Treylon Burks is active. So now you add him to that lineup. I think that makes a big difference. It helps Hopkins. It helps. I mean, he's going to open up the middle of the field, which is something they haven't had. I think he's going to get better. Indy gives up a lot of yards to opposing quarterbacks. But I think Indy's one of my locks today. They're only favored by 1 against a Tennessee team that has been underperforming, even at home. I'm going to take Indy today. I think they've been playing well. I love Zach Moss stepping right in for Taylor. They're not going to miss a beat. Josh Downs is getting healthy. And their defense has played well. I mean, fantasy-wise, too, their defense has been pretty good. I'm going to take Indy -1. They're a lock for me, and I love the under.
See, I actually agree with Brother Ray on this with the Colts, because it's like I don't like the Titans all. I don't like that team, but like the Colts have some sort of pop at least. And in these type of games, when you get like vanilla versus vanilla, it's more likely to me the Colts will do the sprinkling and win this by like 7. Horrible game. I wouldn't want to go to this game. Like, if I got tickets to this game, I wouldn't go. Would you guys go to this game?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. All right. And I think I'm back to Ray. Ray, the Dolphins are favored by 9 currently at the Commies, in the Commies headquarters. The over-under is 49.5. What are your thoughts?
I think 9's a little bit too much. I think the fact that they're at Washington, and you've seen it happen in Washington, like these, no matter how bad the team is, they come out and they play a game and they stay close. I think Miami wins the game. I don't think they cover the spread, though. I like Washington with the 9. And I think Howell is a sneaky play today. By the way, did you know he leads the league in passing yardage? Most pass yards in the league, Sam Howell.
And sacked the most.
So I think the Dolphins defense is a good start, too, because he's going to probably get sacked like 6 or 7 times, maybe throw 3 picks, but he's probably going to throw 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. So I like Miami. I mean, I like Washington getting with the 9. I think Miami wins the game, and I'm going to go with the under for this.
So let me go a second on this one, because Brother Ray, I sometimes call myself the NFC East whisperer, and the Commies do reside in the NFC East. The Dolphins are gonna absolutely kill them today. They are
I
gonna
hope you're
no,
right.
no, you don't have to hope. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like a 30-point difference. They're gonna absolutely the Commies offense and defense is not ready for what's gonna hit the field speed-wise. Just period. Like, it's stupid. They're gonna have no answer. I'm being serious. We played them, and they're not good, and you guys killed us. Like, you're gonna kill them today. It's gonna be a Dolphins, like, really bloated win, at least 3 touchdown difference. How about that?
I
That's
hope.
really what I see. Sean?
I think this is going to be a heart attack game, in being that heart attack about the spread. Washington has tons of talent on offense, and it's being wasted because of this offensive line. Hey, there's a theme today, and now
Right.
Miami is just too strong. I think Howell can be in a shootout. I think the over is the play here, but I think Miami ultimately wins and wins big.
Yeah, right. My theory is that because you're a Dolphins fan, 9 is too high for you to like get behind. You don't want to root for that because then you don't want to fall on your face. So I think you might be skewed in your views on that last pick because of the high point spread and the fact that you're wearing a Dolphins jersey. I'm just trying to put two and two together. Sean, did you try to pick that up?
Yeah, I see that guarded optimism right now in Dolphins fans,
Yep. That's
where
what it
they
is.
want to be like, "We're going to win this, we're going to take it," but they can't because they've seen the past.
Yep.
And Dolphins fans remember history; they're pretty good about that.
Yeah, 1984.
We remember history.
1984. Yeah. Yeah. 1984, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, Ray, how old Jake's 20, I don't 20 and I'm 26. Why don't I say 25? He's not.
No. It's 23.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say 25. 20, 23. He hasn't seen them, the Dolphins win a Super Bowl.
He hasn't seen a Dolphins playoff win. Let's put it in perspective. He has not seen the Dolphins playoff win.
That's what's weird about some teams. It's like that. It's like that's why they don't want to get. That's why he wouldn't take the 9 points. He knows the Dolphins are going to win. He just doesn't want to commit to 9.
Well, they're going to win, but crazy things happen in that stadium.
I know, but this other team stinks. All right, the last 1 o'clock game, the Broncos. This is another one where it's one of those. The Broncos at the Texans. Texans are favored by 3. Over under is 47. Sean, who do you like and why?
A couple months ago, beginning of the season, let's say, who would have said that these would be 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL? You know what I mean?
Not
You
me.
would think it's like when that girl at school, the nerdy one, has the glow up, and all of a sudden she's the hot girl. It's yeah. So, I mean, it's a tough game today. I mean, I think 3 is the right call, but I'm taking Denver with the points because, I mean, I think that's the difference. Denver has really been playing well lately, coming together. All of a sudden, everyone's hating on Russell, but I think he's doing pretty damn well the last 2 months. So, yeah, with that, sticking with Denver.
Right?
Yeah, this is a tough game. I don't think would put money on this game at all because I think I like what both these teams are doing right now. I mean, obviously, I've been talking about Stroud all year and talking about him in the preseason. But Denver, Russell Wilson quietly is playing very, very well, and that defense has stepped up, and they're winning ball games. So they're getting 3 at Houston. I mean, I'm probably going to go with Houston here, only because they've really been lights out at home, and I think that's one team that has a home advantage in that dome. So I'm going to go with Houston minus the 3, but Denver could very easily win this game or cover. I'm definitely going to go with the over because I think it's going to be a shootout. And I love Singletary today because Denver's awful against the run. They're still really bad, even though their defense is getting better. But Russell Wilson is a good fantasy play today.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Texans, but I also like the under. I like the Texans, the way that they're building it, the way that they're doing things, like the way that like a rookie QB can be in there and just be fine. You know what I mean? Like he's just but I can see the Broncos winning the game. Like I wouldn't put money on this either. That's the point of this. But it's the same team. Like they're both kind of doing similar things. But at home, I got to take the Texans just based on that fact. It's only 3. It's at home. I'd stay away from this game, but if I had to put money down on it, I'll take the Texans at home -3 because even Vegas is admitting it's even. Before we go to the 4 o'clocks, I just wanted to do a quick update on this. For those that have forgotten about its existence, this is the legit fantasy football league. Currently in first place is Make America Gronk Again, which is Tim. That's Matt's friend. So Matt's friend he's whipping ass. He's got the most points. 4 is just this. And then in second place and already clinched a playoff spot is comedian Shawn, our own. Shawn, you're in second. I don't know if you knew. Also clinching spots, though, however, in the playoffs is the champ. So I got to let him know. Ray, remind me to let the champ know that he's definitely in the playoffs. And then
Where is he? In Jamaica? Is he in Jamaica right now?
He's been in hiding for a while. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in months, so I don't know what he looks like.
Didn't he take John Stamos' role with the Beach Boys?
He might have. He might have got like a salmon colored tank top. So fourth and in the playoffs is Day Balling Out, which is Kyle Ivy Jones, last year's winner. So he's clinched the playoff spot. Now, fighting for spots would be Mastradamus, which is Matt. Brother's Gonna Work It Out, which is Brother Ray. Junior's team, which is Mike Jr. And then the bottom 3 teams, Tariq and Destroy is gone. That team is dissolving. We're watching it, and it won't make the playoffs. The only other 2 teams I can see for the fight out would be if somehow Coach TJ at the 9 spot can win and one of these other teams lose, because I believe that this is the last week before the playoffs. Did you know that? Ray, were you aware?
To be honest with you, I was not.
Me neither. But let me tell you.
No, next week is, right?
Yeah, next week's the playoffs. What I'm saying is, just for next week, make sure your teams are ready. Trust me, because if one of us snatches the championship, we win. So good luck to both of you on making the playoffs. I really do hope you do well. I mean, personally, I think the champ will win, but that's, I mean, I might be, skewed in my views, but I don't know. He called the champ, so he should technically. All right, Ray, 4 o'clock games. They're starting to become like a gambling nightmare, because if they're only giving you 3 options, right? To me, parlays are based on 3s. At least I don't like a 2-team parlay. I'm more of a 3-team. Like if you're gonna do it, just do 3. And you got to pick every game. That's you know what I mean? I like 4 o'clock games at least, if that makes any sense to anybody. Because one game I can walk away from if I want to do a 3-teamer, right? Because if it doesn't make sense. Now I have to make every game make sense. There's more pressure at the 4 o'clocks because you got to bet them. Like, what else are you going to do? There's only 3 games. 4 games, I mean. No, it's 3. Okay, anyways, right, Carolina goes to Tampa Bay. Tampa's favored by 3. The over-under is a 36.5. What are your thoughts about this game?
Let's put it this way. If you lose your 1 o'clock games and you get to 4 o'clock and you have to bet this game, brother, I feel bad for you.
Yep. Yeah.
And who would want to bet either of these 2 teams? You talk about 2 teams that, I mean, one just fired their coach, the other, Baker Mayfield. I mean, am I going to put money on Baker Mayfield? Please tell me no. Please tell me no. But if I'm looking at this, sometimes you have an upswing when a team fires a coach and they come back and they're all psyched and they do better. And that could happen here, but I don't see it. I just think Tampa Bay is a bad team, but they're a much better team. So I'm going to give the 3.5. They're at home, and I'm going to go with the under, but I would not touch this game in a million years.
Shawn, would you touch it?
I've been asked that many times in my life.
Yeah.
I've always walked away.
Yep.
Well, mostly. Yeah. So I think me, like you, King,
Yep.
are rooting for the Carolina Panthers today.
Yeah.
Be all they can be, and they
Yeah.
have a very good chance with a change in head coach. It can always happen, but ultimately, I just think offensively, Tampa Bay has too much firepower, even with Mayfield being a so-so quarterback. So I'm taking Tampa Bay -3, even though I would not touch this game if I had to bet it.
All right. So here's my theory on this. Do I think Tampa's a better team? Yes. Do I think Carolina's going to have a big upswing because of the coach and all that stuff? Nah, not really. A little maybe. But here's the thing. This game is so bad that if you have to bet this, I would tell you just go with Carolina. If you're that desperate, let's ratchet up the odds because Carolina could win this game very easily, and no one here would be surprised. You know what I mean? It could be like a 6-3 game, and no one here would be shocked. I'm just saying. So it's like I'm gonna go Carolina. I'm just
Take,
Carolina.
take the money, go to the track, and play the slots. That's my advice.
But I'm doing it. I'm going Carolina. I'm gonna roll with them at 4:00, and that's how I would make the money. Watch. Shawn, here the second game to me is the top two NFC East teams, obviously. 49ers and the Eagles. 49ers are favored at Philadelphia by 3. The over-under is 47. I thought that was high.
Yeah.
I thought there was no valuing of defenses there. But okay, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I would take the under. I, for the first time in my life, would like to bet a push. Just because I think this is going to be incredibly close. I do think the defenses are going to step up. I don't know. I just see it as a pick'em game. Who do you think? If I was to guess, I'd say the Niners, just because now that they're starting to get a little healthy, now that they're starting to gel, and that's what's important this time of year. I'm going to go with San Francisco, but really feeling the push.
So, Ray, really quick, this falls into my NFC East whisper wheelhouse. And all year long, I've been betting with the Eagles because they're a better team. It's obvious, right? But the 49ers defense, Jalen Hurts struggles today. And it stinks too because I got him in that fantasy league. He throws his touchdowns, he gets his stuff, but not as much as he did last week, right? And it's going to get trimmed somehow. I think the 49ers are actually a better team. I think you make the argument, I guess, for both teams as the better team because they truly are. It's like a really big fight. I would think these two teams playing today. But I think the 49ers defense can mess with the Eagles offense more so the other way around. I've always thought that Jalen Hurts has played behind the greatest offensive line any like young quarterback could hope for. Like he's just got he's, you know what I mean? Like you come into the league and you get that. That's like a, you know what I mean? It's like a Bentley. So I'm going to go with 49ers, right?
Another one of my locks. I love the Eagles. Absolutely love them. Getting 3 at home. Best team in the league right now. The thing with San Francisco is for that offense to work, they have to run the ball. You can't put the ball in Brock Purdy's hands and let it and make him throw 50 passes.
That's why the over 47 is kind of high, no?
It is high. No, I love the under in this game. But Philly has been unbelievable against the run. I think they're the best team in the league against the run, at least the last couple of weeks. They have completely stymied the run. So this is going to be all in Brock Purdy's hands. So it's going to be Brock Purdy. And I love the Niners defense. Don't get me wrong. They have been lights out. But at home, San Francisco, they're a speed defense, okay? Philly is all muscle, okay? They're going to try and pound it down their throat. I'm going to take the 3. The best team in the league, you're going to give me 3 points. I'm taking it all day. Eagles, lock for me, and I love the under.
See, now, Shawn, you can't even really argue what Ray just said, right? Because it made sense. But I still like the 49ers, which is weird. Like, I just still feel like I think he's going to get more shook, even though, I mean, they are top to bottom roster-wise. Like, awesome.
I think, Ray, one thing you didn't touch on is McCaffrey as that X factor, because where the Eagles are kind of lacking is that middle of the field.
Yeah,
and that's where
passing too. Yeah. They can't defend the pass. Like teams are just tearing them apart.
So watch McCaffrey coming out of the backfield, I think, today. But he made very great points.
Yep.
And that's good English.
We'll go to the other one. The Browns at the Rams. Those two names right there, like that's the reason like why non-football fans or females just stay away. Browns versus the Rams. Who are you watching? The Browns versus the Rams. Two dumb words. All right, Shawn, who do you like in the game? The Rams are favored by 3.5. Over under is 42.
This game reminds me of the girl at the party who's kind of cute that dips. You know what I mean? Like no one will go next to her. She's like, I'm a guy's girl. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Rams. I think they really have too much firepower for Cleveland, even though Cleveland has a really good defense. But I think with the addition of that really great quarterback, Flacco, and watch out, Jamal Lewis is a great play today. So with that said, I think the Rams win easily. So, yeah, -3.5.
Ray.
Joe Flacco makes a big difference. The last couple of weeks, I'll even say when Watson was playing, they have not had good quarterback play at all. I mean, people that couldn't even throw like slant patterns. DTR. He's injured. Thankfully, Flacco's in now. I like the Browns. Their defense has been playing lights out, and it's kept them in ball games. The Rams, they do have a full complement today. They are healthy at the wide receiver position. But Cleveland's number one against the pass. Will Williams be able to keep up, that the tier that he's on running the ball? I'm going to take the 4 at LA. There's no such thing as home field advantage in LA. We say this all the time. I'm going to go with the under. I'm going to take Cleveland getting the points.
So isn't it scary that this bet is based on Joe Flacco? Like, how old is Joe?
73?
Yeah, about that.
Is he 40? He's got to be in his 40s, right?
Got it.
His arm is still live. Just throwing that out there. Like, he does still have a live arm. So this makes it
38 years old.
All right. Sorry, he's 38. Sorry, Joe. 38. Those receivers haven't seen an arm like that. Like he could throw, like, in other words, he throws a couple of deep flies that connect and make this game get all wobbly. So this is a tough one. I would stay away from this game. This is the one that bothers me because Joe Flacco is coming to town with the Browns offense at his disposal. What's going to happen? I have no idea. That's why I wouldn't bet the game. But if I got to go at the game, I'm going to go with the Browns. I would see again. I got to bet the 4 o'clocks. I'm going to take the Browns and Joe Flacco. I like that story better. All right. So we only have one lock on the whole 1 to 4 o'clocks, and that's at 1 o'clock. Yeah. So you got to listen to more of what we say then. Listen to the actual conversation. Pick the guy that you think is making more sense out of the 3 and roll with his picks. That's basically what you got to do when we split. Ray, before we get into the 8 o'clock game and then on to the Monday night. So have you seen I put up a it's called Legit 36. Those football chairs that I made. So this is a game that was started in the Meadowlands, like parking lot. So here's what it is. There's 2 of those like what are they called nowadays? Those lounge chairs you put down, but they have the cup holder and they're not like they're. You know what I mean? All the parents pull them out of the bag and they pop them down. What are those called? What type of chairs are those?
I just call them folding chairs.
They're not called folding chairs? Because folding chairs are
That's
metal.
right.
But all right.
Yeah.
All right. See, I'm old. Folding chairs are metal, right, Ray? Yeah.
Correct.
My
That's
head.
what you hit the big boss, man.
Lawn chairs. Let's call it a lawn chair.
Showing our age.
You take 2 of them, and in the middle, you cut a hole, and you zip tie a basketball rim with the net underneath the seat. From the back of the seat, you build up with what are those white pipe things called? The cheap PVC pipe. You make a goalpost, right? So here's how the game is played. You stand behind one chair, and the opponent stands behind the other chair, right? You can throw for a touchdown. If it goes in, it's 6 points. you can kick an extra point or try for a 2-point conversion, right? On defense, if a ball hits the chair and bounces in the air and you catch it behind the back of the chair, like you can't lunge forward ever, it's always going to be caught behind the chair, it's 3 points. It's an interception, right? So that way you're throwing it, but while the other guy's throwing it, you're waiting to see if it bounces because it usually always does, but sometimes it's like to the ground, but sometimes you get it in play. I call it legit 36 because that's the score you get to win. Now, it's actually a higher score on the real game, but I'm old, so I dropped the score because we don't want to play that long. So I called it legit 36. At the first person to score 18, you both switch sides. You played at 36. It's kind of that simple, and it's awesome fun. Like it really, it's really fun because you'll especially get to play defense because you don't got to run. You just got to be able to like move quick one way or the other and try to catch it, and then you're just throwing a football into a chair. So it's like perfect for drinking, perfect for Sunday. You're not gonna get sweaty, right? So what do you think of that game, Shawn? Shawn,
Oh, I don't think that's bad. I was thinking as a Patriots fan, I could take a nice dump in between, just because I'm fat, morbidly obese, we call it. And but besides that, yeah, I would do it, especially if I was drinking.
take a dump in it.
Yeah.
I knew somebody eventually would say that just because Ray it's a rim. Ray, what are your thoughts on that before we get to this question?
No, I think it's a good idea for a game. I mean, again, you don't want to be playing too long. I think 36 is good. And it gives you something to do when you're not pounding beers.
I've played Junior, I've played Stu, and I can't remember the third person I played. And I'm undefeated. I haven't been beat. So just putting that out there. Anybody wants to come play me? I have 2 chairs. I have a football. You have to use like one of those softer college type size ones. Because anything bigger, it hits the chair. It just knocks it all around. So we use a little bit. Not a Nerf, guys. Not a Nerf. All right, or a poof. Are you with me on this?
Oh.
A poof football rips on the first throw. You know the knockoff version of Nerf was called poof, and it was just the word. Right, you know that, right? A poof football is worthless. Yeah, worthless. All right, guys. Slot 3 full PPR. Downs versus Tennessee. Hollywood versus Pittsburgh. Ayuk versus Philly. Reed versus KC. Start 1 RB, 1 flex pull PPR. And then it's Ford versus the Rams. Connor versus Pittsburgh. Singletary versus Denver. Reed versus KC. Dylan, you copy and pasted this to several different podcasts to get answers on this. It is one of the most in-depth questions we've ever been asked. It's Sunday morning, and usually it's just grunts. So, Ray, would you like to answer this paragraph?
Absolutely. I mean, I love Ayuk versus Philly. They're going to have to throw the ball. We just talked about that. Philly has been awful against opposing wide receivers. Ayuk is their number 1. So I love Ayuk. I like Hollywood. Hollywood is now relevant. Again, he's that number 1. He's going to be the top target. You have to start. You have to trot him out. And I will say I like Reed. Reed has been playing well, but Kansas City, that defense is better. I mean, they're not giving up a lot of points. So I would actually go with Downs here. I love Downs. I think he's healthy. I think you're going to see he's going to start getting more targets. So I like that's kind of my ranking of those right there. As far as Ford versus the Rams and Connor has been getting the ball less. He hasn't really popped yet. I think the Steelers will take care of him today. I like Singletary against Denver. They are still awful against the run, so I think he's a decent start. So if I'm looking at 1 running back, 1 flex, I would probably have to go here with Singletary. And if you're gonna hold my feet to the fire, I would say Ford.
You didn't touch on Reed.
Again, I like Reed. He's been getting the targets for Green Bay, but they do have a lot of other people. They have Dobbs. They have Watson, who's starting to pop a little bit now. He's not really their true number 1. Whereas I think Hollywood and Ayuk, those are true number 1s. Trot those guys out. Don't double think it. Don't think too much about it. Make sure those guys are out there.
Shawn, You want to
Agreed
touch
with
on that?
Reed. Agreed with dropping Reed, do Downs, Hollywood, Ayuk, and with one running back. Singletary looks like the play, but I wouldn't be surprised Ford having a big game against LA.
All right. See, that question, I got to be honest, right? That question, it blew my mind when I first saw it. Like,
It's complicated.
it was
Fantasy
very
football is complicated. So
Yeah, it's very complicated. I realize what type of person I am. You know what I mean? Like, that's too complicated for me at this moment in the morning. Like, it really is. Hey, have you guys done Christmas lights in the house? Anybody put up anything Christmassy in their house? Ray did. Shawn, did you?
I just have ceramic tree because I have cats. They're the worst.
So, yeah. See, I have a giant dog that is the destroyer of all that is like tinsel or ceramic or any kind of ball that he whisks his tail and knocks off the tree. But I go overboard. Like, I have all kinds of Christmas lights all around me because I celebrate Santa. That's my headset. Like in other words, when I was a kid, what made Christmas great was Santa. I was trying to tell my daughter, because she's listening to like this list of Christmas songs I put together. I'm like, every other one's about Jesus. I'll explain it if you want me to, right? Because she goes. So it's because there's like some about Santa, some about Jesus. They're both mixed in. But as a little kid, Santa's the one that brought me presents. So the thing that I believed in probably the most in my entire life, like completely believed in something that was magical, was when it was Santa Claus. So I try to get myself geared to where if I can help out, and we're going to be collecting money too. Again, we get the tree to give to a family. Like, if I can help anybody out in Christmas, that's to me where I can get the closest to where Santa is. Like that feeling, like, you can see it, at least see somebody else that has that belief that there's a Santa Claus. And there is, kids. There is. I mean, because if everybody believes in one thing, then it does technically exist. So, and Ray, you do believe in Santa Claus. I know that.
absolutely.
Shawn, we got to get you to meet the real guy. He'll convince you.
I sat on this guy's lap in the mall.
Yeah, that's not him.
And he wasn't dressed like Santa, though, but he said he was Santa.
Yeah, you probably weren't even in the mall, Shawn.
Yeah, I mean, it was the back of the van, but it said mall above where a window should be.
Yeah, no, that wasn't. Yeah. Yeah.
He said he was hung from the rooftop with care.
Yeah. That's not. That's let's move on, but
Okay.
that's not Santa.
All right.
That,
We'll talk
Ray,
next week.
Ray, that's not you. All right. Chiefs versus the Packers. Ray, Chiefs are favored by 6. Now, boy, I like the Packers team, man. I like I like the defense. I like the whole way it is, but I don't think they can play that come from behind in the fourth quarter game against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs will put up a bunch of points on you before you have that chance. So I don't know who you like, but I like the Chiefs to win by at least 6, because, again, the Packers, they play goofy, and then towards the end they kind of come on, and you can't do that with the Chiefs because the Chiefs will pull away. So, Ray, who do you like?
Love Kansas City, my last lock, but there is this inner Mastradamus voice that keeps telling me that the reason why it's 6 is because Vegas knows something.
Yep.
So I do have that in the back of my head saying, why is this only 6? Why isn't this 10? Why isn't this 8? Why isn't this 7.5? Mm-hmm. Why is it 6? But how can you not take Kansas City here? I mean, Green Bay, they came out, they played a great game on Thanksgiving. Jordan Love has been playing better. Their defense has been really, really good. But how can we not take Kansas City? Lambeau Field, Andy Reid coached there for many years as an offensive coach. He knows Lambeau Field. It's not too big for him. I got to take Kansas City given the 6. I'm going to go with the under on this. I love the Kansas City's defense, and I think they step up today.
Shawn.
I think the same when it comes to Kansas City ultimately winning. However, I could see it getting close because they pull Mahomes early. Just if it starts to, because Love has been playing really well lately, and it's a team that can sneakily get those points on you in garbage time.
They would not pull Mahomes within a 6-point lead.
Well, I'm saying it could be, let's say it's 21, then all of a sudden it's garbage time and they score a TD, get it back. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that, but I'm being serious. They'd have to have about a 20-point lead
Yeah,
for
I
him
could
to
see
even
him.
consider benching Mahomes because you don't want to
Well,
get
his
like
ankle's
10
still
points.
weak a little bit, so I don't know. They might think about that too. But yeah, I see your point.
Just because I yelled it over what you were saying. That's
Yeah,
basically
that's
one
how
of
it
the facts.
works.
So you like who?
I like Kansas City.
All right. So that is our second lock because or we're all being set up.
Mm.
Monday night's game. If you're getting really desperate, you're gonna go look at the Bengals play the
Oh,
Jaguars.
oh.
Jaguars are favored by 10, and I'm thinking 10, huh? Just 10? Okay. So now Master Damas right now probably be freaking out. His head would be spinning. Ray, what do you think of this game? I'll let you go first again.
This game, I would stay away from it. Jacksonville, they've been fickled all year. They did beat Houston, but Houston missed a couple of field goals last week. Jacksonville should have lost that game. Their defense couldn't stop Houston at all. Cincy, yep, they got Browning. They're talking about playing, next year already. They're already talking about next year already. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Only because the Bengals seem like they're talking about next year and they're going to play people they don't normally play. And you got to take Jacksonville Airs because they have something to play for. They're at home. It's a primetime game, Monday night. This is a statement game for them. They can't come out and lay an egg on this. So I'm going to take Jacksonville, give them the 10, and I'm going to go with the under.
You know what's funny, Shawn, is that the whole time he's talking about the negatives of the Jaguars, which I agree. Yeah, I'm in my head. I hear the Bengals stink. The Bengals stink. They just stink. But what do you think about this game?
I think the Bengals still have a lot of talent on their team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I think about Jacksonville for years to come, they're going to be right in that playoff mix. You know what I mean? But I don't see them as a +10 good team. Do you know what I mean by that? Like San Francisco or the Eagles would be a +10 good team. So
yeah, you got like shit versus shit. Like this is like where like of course it could be +10 because the Bengals stink.
Where are all the good backup quarterbacks, guys? Where
Yeah.
are all the good backup quarterbacks in the league? Remember when back teams would just trot out like a Garoppolo or someone, not to say that he's special, but someone that can come in and execute an offense? These teams, how can you have Joe Burrow and then have Browning as your backup?
So
season's over.
Shawn, Uncle Robert, famous for being on the State of Corruption Backroom Sauce cover. Uncle Robert was giving me a big speech about how there's not even what is it? There's 32 teams, correct? Correct.
Yes.
I always forget that number. He said there's not 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'm like, that makes sense because some guys that are starters stink. So never mind the backups. Like, why is there a shortage on good QBs? When did that start? Like, there's garbage in places. Really, there is. Like the Giants with the whole veto thing. Oh, Maranda me. I want to clothesline that kid when he starts going like this to the crowd. I just want to go bang and then drop the Italian flag on him and hit him with one of the things. What are those things we eat on St. Joseph's Day?
Zaples?
Yeah, slap him in the face with a Zapla would be the funniest thing in the world, right? Slap him with a Zapla. I was like, knock it off. Shut up. You know what I mean? But
shut your mouth.
Yeah, I don't like riding that whole train either. Ray, any fantasy advice that you'd also like to throw in?
Oh yeah, this is a good day. There's a lot of opportunity here with people coming back with good matchups. We talked about Brock Purdy. We thought I think he's gonna have a really good fantasy day because they're gonna have to throw against Philly. I don't think they're gonna be able to run as like they normally do. And Philly's been really susceptible. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's a really good play. You can get him cheap. Running back, I love Jalen Warren and I love Brian Robinson. Already talked about those two. I also like Isaiah Pacheco. I think he's going to have Green Bay can be run on. Their pass defense is really good. So I think Pacheco, they're going to want to give him the ball. I do like Etienne on Monday night. If he plays, the Bengals give up a lot of yards. He is questionable. So make sure if you put him in your lineup, you're looking at Dearness Johnson or someone as a backup. I love Kamara today. I think he's going to catch the ball a lot. The Saints are hungry for weapons. Shaheed is not going to play. So it's basically Olave against the world. So I think Kamara is going to catch a lot of balls. Having said that, I love Chris Olave today. I think he's a lock at the wide receiver position. I also like Noah Brown. Noah Brown is active today. For some reason, Stroud loves this kid. Doesn't matter who's in the game. I know we're talking about Tank. We're talking about Nico. He loves Noah Brown. Noah Brown's going to play. Look for him to get some yards. And I love Elijah Moore today. Joe Flacco loves Elijah Moore.
He does.
You look at the games that he's played with Elijah Moore. He looks for Elijah Moore. Look for Elijah Moore to have a breakout today with a real quarterback behind center. Tight end, Juwan Johnson for the Saints. A great start today. He is going to get a lot of targets today. Again, no Shaheed. They're going to look at him. Brevin Jordan, spot play. Dalton Schultz out of the lineup in Houston. Brevin Jordan fits in. He has had success when he gets reps, so he's a good play as well. And I like Gerald Everett because right now the Chargers have no targets other than Keenan Allen, and you know Bill is going to take Keenan Allen out. Bill does that better than anybody, still does. Going to take Keenan Allen out, so Everett is the guy that Herbert trusts. So I like that. And I'll even say Tucker Kraft if you're desperate. Had a great Thanksgiving. He's the number one tight end in that offense in Green Bay. So I think he's a good play. And finally, defense, take the Falcons. Take the Falcons against the Jets. They've been lights out lately. They should annihilate the Jets today.
Shawn,
Can I add to that?
Yep.
Yeah. Dotson for Washington. He's been coming on a little bit lately. I think he has a nice little game today. Again, Henry, I think is going to be returning to form today, just for 1 week. And another one that Ray didn't mention, Demario Douglas for the Patriots, just because no one else can catch the ball.
He's out.
Oh, he is out?
Yeah,
No!
he's out.
All right, so the Patriots lose by 20 today.
Wow, that fixed that, right? That fixed that.
Well, that's good.
I'm
out, everybody.
I have nothing to add to that. Our locks, gentlemen, were the Cardinals and the Chiefs. Cardinals and Chiefs. Ray, the thing about NTN is saving him is that it's Monday night. I've been following that injury like a mofo. Like I need him. I need him. Right? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, if it wasn't Monday night, he'd be less likely to play. Which I don't get how one day makes a difference with these people. I don't know how from one day you can go, hey, next day you're like, I'm good to go. Or like, how can you be questionable and then play the game full out? I've always wondered that. You guys, like, the guy's questionable, but I didn't see him limp. He didn't show any signs. He was running really fast. So why was he questionable?
They do that sometimes when they want to give them a day off of practice. Like if they want to give, like, they're trying to like give them days off during the week, they'll give them that questionable tag to kind of cover themselves.
Or they do the Belichick thing where they try to hide them under that guise where they're like, oh, could play, could not play. You might need to plan for this. So
Brady was questionable for 18 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, I'm just typing to someone about a game. All right. So January 1st is the relaunch of the Legit Podcast brand for the paranormal. We're going to do a show on the 14th, which is, I think, January 14th. It's a Sunday night, 7:05. We're having hosts from all the shows attend. I would like it. It's just it's like more of a meet and greet and discussion of the channel. I would like it if somebody from the Legit Fantasy Football crew could make their way onto that Sunday night show on the 14th. You're both invited, but I would really appreciate if someone showed up, especially with a football jersey, to represent the fact that we can still do sports podcasts whenever we want. Like that to be, January. It'll be the new year. It's on a Sunday. Leap year. Going to be a leap year.
Yeah. If I'm not working, I'm there.
Right. Yeah. So we got there's a bunch of new shows that we have. We're gonna be at, I think, I want to say 11 Wow.
Wow.
11 hours a week of podcasting. 10 of it's paranormal. Well, actually, it'll be like 10 paranormal, one about dating in men, and then one about football. So I won't be in the dating in men one, by the way. I don't know if you guessed that, but that won't be me. But as far as the football, boy, I would love it if we could finally ever get back legit fantasy basketball. That was actually such a fun show to do because I got me involved in the NBA better than I ever was. Like doing that show, Ray, do you remember that? Doing that show long enough, it got to the point where I could bet the NBA confidently. Like really, because you hear people talk about their views, that's what makes you change your view or figure something out. Also visit legitpodcast.com. Like and share one of our I never asked that. I'm supposed to ask that at the beginning. I failed again. Like and share this video. Just never have asked that. Go to the website, check out what we got. We got new gear. I'm actually wearing one of our beanies, and I actually have on. Let me zip this up. I didn't realize it was that low. Zipper jacket. Again, I'm a Slav. It's Sunday morning. I'm lucky I'm here. Christmas lights are up. Ray, can you see this picture right here? See my hand is?
Yeah.
Can you see her?
Yeah, Mom.
Yep.
I see it. It's awesome.
That's the only color picture on that wall. Everything else is black and white. And my mom would make a smile when she was about to cause trouble, or was at least at the level where she could cause trouble. Like she was at that energy level. And I'm being honest, and that's the smirk she's making in that photo. Like,
here it comes.
I could cause trouble. It's just we had really tiny parents in height, but like they were both like their energy level they were of nuclear. Right, Ray? They both were like so. And picture the sob story. Picture those two in a apartment house with this guy, me, and the other guy. Right? I don't know how they made it through. I want to congratulate them on making it through. Really, Ray, if you think about it, because I'm old now, and making it through it is not easy.
Mm-mm.
They made it through, and they kept it so that the neighborhood was like its own world for us. So, like, whenever I talk to paranormal people and stuff like that, I always end up apologizing for my. Thank you for liking. I end up apologizing for my childhood because it's so like ridiculously like fun and silly. Right. It's weird. It was a weird thing. You know what I mean? Weird. Very, Shawn, did I say weird?
Yeah, you've said.
Okay, yeah. So legit paranormal tonight at 7:05. We have Daniel Benoit going to be on the show. He is like a real expert in Bigfoot and that kind of stuff. I actually went down to Fort Defiance, Virginia, like 2 years back. He does like a Bigfoot con type thing. So I love talking to Bigfoot people. I really do. That's like the one thing I wish was real. I want that one. That's like the only one I want to be real. Whenever I talk to these people, I'm like, oh, I would love to see a Bigfoot. You know what I mean? I really would. Hey, Mandy, thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. So 7:05 is legit paranormal. You guys are more welcome on the 14th to make an appearance. And also good luck in the playoffs next week. I will talk to you before then, but Greg, get to your team. Not today because you're playing me, but get ready for the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. Like, just don't look at it now. Wait till next week, and then make sure you just fix your team. So, for the comedian, Shawn Picard, for Brother Ray, it's me, Mike Leopard King, Mike Elders was legit. Fantasy football brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next Sunday. And bet the Cardinals and Chiefs.